live yet? Oh, there we are. And we're live. Hello. Oh, Kevin, I caught you in the middle of drinking a coffee.
Feel so exposed.
I'm so sorry. I do this thing where I sing along with the intro every episode where like Kevin can hear it back and be like, "Oh, okay, it's coming." So I almost want to say that this was intentional.
I mean, I got a whiff of the
Uh-huh.
coffee,
And when
once
you
you
get
get
a
that
whiff,
whiff,
yeah, I get you.
it's
Wow.
like
Yeah, my brain went to
almost
the
an
exact same
impulse.
place.
The thing is, I didn't even think about it, which is why when you said "and we're live," I'm like, oh, we're doing
Oh,
something.
right. We are,
I
aren't
was just
we?
like, oh, Mike's going ham with these songs right now.
Mike loves to sing. How's everybody doing? It's good to see everybody.
Mike got a haircut.
I did. Look at that. Ooh, little buzz boy. That's me.
I
Lucas
guess you can call
Rex,
him
Rose, Zach.
Buzzwole
Ooh,
because he's
except not
buzzed
very,
and
very
swole.
swole. Not very swole right now. I haven't been lifting as much weights, although I'm starting to. I finally got my gym already, Pokemon gym. I
I
am
mean,
ghost type.
your legs lift yourself.
I do exercise every day by moving around my house.
That's good.
Yes.
That's more than most people are doing right now.
Oh, that's fair. Pierre Spatula Titan, good to see you. Mr. Lucky. Oh, Mr. Lucky, I haven't seen you around. Good to see you. Ferna Buax.
haven't seen you in my games.
Haven't seen you in my games. Uh, I appreciate seeing all you guys here today for Pokésports podcast number 58. It's going to be a fun one. I think this one and the next one are two episodes that I'm very, very, very excited for. Before we start, Kevin, maybe you know what? Let's talk about this a little bit on the break. I wanted to know about the Dynamax Legendary. You said that somebody had put out a tweet before, or somebody had put out something talking about Dynamax Legendaries, and that was kind of the inspiration for this whole thing. And I forgot to ask you that. So if you think of it between now and the break, let me know.
I might have forgotten what it is, but
yeah, that's fine.
We'll see if it comes back to me during the podcast.
Yeah. So what would be very, very helpful for us, the podcast, and the just Pokésports in general, is if you wouldn't mind hitting that little thumbs up button there, just to show your excitement for the upcoming podcast, because you folks are here for a live recording every single Sunday. You are here for a live recording of a podcast. So
if you guys are here at 9 p.m. when it airs, you probably enjoyed enough to like it.
You. I want to hit the like button on all the people who are here joining us right now today.
Behind the scenes.
Yes.
Podcasters.
So if you have a like button, just let me know and I got you.
We can smack it for you.
I will smack it. All right. So here, folks, is Pokésports podcast number 58. We're talking about Dynamax Legendaries today. But of course, we always need to start with some news. So let's get right. Remember that.
Right.
To the
nerd.
Ooh.
Mike's volume is much lower than Kevin's.
I can fix that. I fixed that.
Thanks for telling us.
That actually very, very much helps. There you go. That
you know what? We should start every podcast like that. Like, do we sound okay? Like
one person being very, very, very
these
loud.
Are what? No. This is what the 9 p.m.ers are for.
Yeah,
just making sure we're functioning before we actually start the thing.
That's very true. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Is anything else broken?
Right? Do we look fine? Is my saturation off? Am I delayed from what I'm saying?
This feels like a zero white balance kind of day.
Yeah, very much. All right, so let's get into it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Pokésports Podcast, a competitive Pokemon podcast. I'm Mike, and I play with one Pokemon on the field.
I'm Kevin, and I had the chance to take Wolfglick out of the winners bracket, but I didn't because I lost to the person before that.
Kevin, you were so close. There is a full alternate dimension where you just beat the person who won the Players' Cup too.
Let's be honest, it wasn't going to happen, but still.
Hey, listen,
I would have had the opportunity.
It's that episode of Community with the rolling of the dice or whatever, and each answer equals a different dimension. That's what happens when you roll the dice. That's what happens when you play Pokemon, my friend.
It's almost like Pokemon is children gambling.
Oh, no. Don't call it that. No.
I mean, the game corner, though?
They
got rid of it.
They fixed that. They fixed that. It was a problem in the 90s. We fixed it.
Hey, kids, here's some slot machines.
Oh, no. Folks, if you are listening to us on today, that's Sunday, December 13th, it is, of course, National Day of the Horse. Go and grab your favorite horse or horse Pokemon and just go run around with them for a bit.
There's a long list of horse Pokemon now.
There are. There are. And you know what? We had this conversation a little bit earlier. The game ruined my all horse team by taking out Zebstrika.
I was just about to ask you to list every horse Pokemon, but you've already done that preemptively for the podcast.
Yes, sir. We've got. I don't know if this is everyone. There may be a few that I'm missing actually. So if anybody in the chat wants to go and shout out any other horse Pokemon that I may be missing, please go and do that. Zebra is, debatable. But anyway, we've got Calyrex, the Ghost and the Ice form. We've got Glacier. We've got Spectre, Mudsdale, Rapidash. There are 2 forms of Rapidash, and then Zebstrika. I count Zebstrika. Technically, I guess by that metric, you could count like Sawsbuck, because that's like a horse variant.
Oh, well then if we're going that far, you can count Xerneas, you can count Stantler.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, let's go even further. Anything with hooves, you can count Rhyhorn, Rhydon.
Oh, no.
Rhydon is a horse.
Groudon.
Hey, did you know a rhinoceros is actually part of the horse family?
No.
It's an equus. Yeah. They, very long time. Okay.
What?
Welcome to Pokemon.
There could be people going around riding rhinoceri, and I don't know about this. This is insane.
In another Earth, yeah.
Horsey, thank you. Yes, Horsey.
Oh,
Horsey's
true,
a very
Horsey.
good one. Seadra.
If we're including Horsey, we gotta include Scrump and Dragalge too.
Of course. Sea King is a horse. Sea Biscuit. Sea King, Sea Biscuit. It connects. There's the Illuminati triangle.
Every Pokemon is technically a horse. Scorbunny, horse.
Yeah. A bunny is
Chespin,
a horse.
If
you're listening to us on Wednesday, December 16th, as this podcast comes out on everywhere you find your podcasts, it is National Chocolate Giraffarig. It is National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. So go and get anything. Cover it in chocolate. Do it. What would you cover in chocolate, Kevin? If you could cover one thing in chocolate. Anything in the world.
Why is this a hard question for me?
Is this actually a hard question for you?
Okay. Jello.
Yes, Kevin. Okay. Yes. Very, very nice. I agree with that wholeheartedly. When I was a kid, made Jello. Used to put some Nesquik sauce right on top of that. Oh, it's just
say sauce.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say syrup. Don't say sauce. That makes me think of tomatoes.
I guess so.
Chocolate tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess that is chocolate syrup, isn't it? Chocolate sauce is a thing too.
Chocolate liquid.
For me, of course, it's strawberries. That's why I put it there. Chocolate covered strawberries, dude. So good. Let's talk Pokemon, my friend. Want to talk some Pokemon today, or you want to not do that?
I mean, this has just become the competitive chocolate covered anything podcast.
Yeah. Yo, we should have a what's the word? A draft league where we just have chocolate covered things. What is the best chocolate covered something? Yo, actually, I wouldn't mind doing that. I would watch that. Jeez. What up, Peach? All right, so folks, let's talk Pokemon. In Smogon news, we've got these four Pokemon in the news. We've got Linoone, Poltegeist, Sharpedo, and Slurpuff. All of these Pokemon are no longer allowed in NU. Never used that bracket. And so they are now, yes, correct. They're now landing in NUBL. So they were just too OP in the tier. And it's actually funny because I have very personal history with all 4 of these Pokemon in singles. All 4 of these Pokemon have like incredibly memey sets that work so well. Yeah.
Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you said Lanoon, but that's a ferret.
What did I say? I said Lanoon. That's a ferret. They look so similar. Whatever.
If you guys aren't watching the video version of this, Michael legitimately has a ferret on the screen instead of Lanoon.
Dude, when I was looking... Okay. Hey, hear me out. When I was looking for the files for this image, I was scrolling through and I see this like long thing with fur on the end of its tail and its guts. They look almost exactly the same, is what I'm trying to say. All right? Whatever, it's a ferret.
Ferret is in the game.
Ferret's in the game. So Lanoon, Poltegeist, Sharpedo, and Slurpuff have a very personal history. Apparently not personal enough with the ferret, but anyway. Poltegeist has a little move called Shell Smash. You pair that with a White Herb, and Poltegeist can go absolutely ham on an entire team. Sharpedo has Protect into Speed Boost. Lanoon and Slurpuff, well, they've got a little thing called Belly Drum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Slurpuff still has Belly Drum in singles.
That's right.
Yucky.
Lanoon can pair that with Extreme Speed, and Slurpuff can pair that with like Drain Punch.
And Unburden Boost.
And Unburden, exactly. So all of the HP that it loses, it gets it right back with that. But Lanoon it's a little harder, so you do need the Citrus Berry. You do with Slurpuff as well, but it's a little bit harder to keep yourself alive without that Unburden boost. That's why you have +2 Extreme Speed.
All these Pokemon are so good. I'm surprised they're in NU.
Right.
Like in singles.
They're going to make their way back up to like the tier. But I assume that these guys can hit UU.
Honestly, like all it takes is usage. People just have to play them.
Oh my
guys,
God.
Play them.
Lupus Rex just called Ferret Canadian Lanoon, and I'm living for it.
I mean, that explains why Mike confused the two. He's just so used to seeing like Ferret running around.
I know it's not a Lanoon, people. I know it's not a Lanoon. Oh, I hate everyone. Okay, I love you all. Folks, Cinderace. I feel like
everyone's bullying Mike in the chat right now, by the way, guys.
It's that time. It's that time of the year again. It's that time of the couple weeks. Every few weeks we have to talk about Cinderace making a move in Smogon. Cinderace is currently in suspect testing until December 22nd in National Dex this time. To remind you, Dynamax is not allowed in National Dex, but Z moves and Megas are allowed. So Cinderace has been able to be in there. And yes, you can pair a Z Crystal with any compatible move on Cinderace and Libero will trigger. So
I see.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to give someone an early Christmas present, all you have to do is you play Cinderace during the suspect test and prove to people how stupid it is.
You won't be able to give them that Christmas present on Christmas. So make sure you do that early.
You could literally kick it out of the National Dex. You could Dex it Cinderace right here, right now.
Oh, yeah, you can. Absolutely.
World's greatest horse Pokemon, Cinderace.
World's greatest horse Pokemon. Folks, that's it for Smogon news. Let's move on to some esports news. The only Pokemon news this week, apparently, because they are all about the Players' Cup 2. Players' Cup 2 has finally ended after many, many, many weeks. Technically, it ended many, many weeks ago, but they do this thing where they record the matches and I guess edit around them after they do their commentary and whatnot. And then, that was the finals were just streamed today. So let's talk about the winners. We've already kind of talked about the one winner who Kevin beat in an alternate dimension, but the runner-up was David Carrere. Is that how you pronounce?
Sure.
Cool. Narimbo_VGC. You can go and find him. Coming in with a Wheezing Regigigas, a Venusaur, Torkoal, Regieleki, and Urshifu, completely surprising to nobody. I actually just played, I think, against this exact team on the ladder a few days ago. Wheezing and Regigigas is just nasty.
Mm-hmm. Those two Pokemon together. Yeah, it's a little disgusting, especially since like every Weezing will protect first turn, so you're just stuck with a Regigigas, which you're probably not gonna be able to OHKO for at least one turn because you can't OHKO the Weezing either. My best experience with dealing with it, just burn it. No. If you can burn it, burn it.
Oh, okay.
Then you'll kind of be okay.
Is that it?
I mean, kind of.
Oh, well, there you go. Wait, was people in chat are saying that it was last week? Was this recorded last week? Was this played last week?
This was just finished, guys.
Yeah. Well, the playthrough of it, like the broadcast of it was today. Was it not? Or maybe that was Saturday. But either way, that is.
We just finished seeing it now.
We just finished seeing it. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The winner was WolfGlick. We all know WolfGlick, very popular VGC streamer / content creator / competitor, coming in with a Dragapult Colossal, unsurprising to nobody, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Incineroar, and Moltres. Both of these teams, by the way, on our video version of the podcast, you can go and check the rental code if you want to go and use those. Yeah, a good team. I mean, it's very similar to the other teams that he has been using before. He's been using Colossal Dragapult for so very long because he's been on this bender of trying to make it like the most popular Pokemon.
Yeah, this is also the second time that Colossal has won the Players' Cup, and like you kind of have to give a little bit of a double take at that because clearly Colossal is a good Pokemon. And clearly, when paired with Dragapult, it's a great Pokemon. But yeah, that's 2 victories. I can already tell you guys right now, if you don't have a counter to Colossal on your team, I just finished a coaching session. There, like out of the 10 battles we had, 8 of them had a Colossal on them.
Wow.
So you should probably work on your Colossal counters. Everyone and their mother's using it.
Now is that because it's been popularized, or?
Well, that's just because they all finished watching the Players' Cup and they're running on Showdown trying to try the team. And I think it will make a resurgence because, Crown Tundra came out. People were trying their new fun stuff. They kind of put Colossal on the side. Sure. And now that it's won a major tournament, they're all going to be like, I need my rock back.
It is important to note that David versus Wolf in their first battle, Wolf had actually lost, moved down to the losers bracket and had to climb all the way back up to face him in the finals again, where he ended up winning. So did that work out in the end for him where he could actually look back and see what he could have done better? Maybe. Just something to think about there.
Look at that redemption arc, though.
Yeah, right? I almost think it's better for somebody to lose to somebody in the winners bracket, move down to losers, and then like work their way back up. Because at the time of the grand finals, when you're facing off against that person who you already lost to, you know their team so well. Like imagine if David had not won, if he as well got knocked down and then like lost out of the entire tournament without having to face Wolf again. Then the Wolf would have had to face an entirely new person and not really know the play style, not really know the team as well as to the person he lost to.
Yeah, that is true. Wolf did have weeks to actually go back and look at why he lost and how he lost to it.
Yeah.
Especially since that was like his only set loss in the tournament. So you really want to focus on that one because, like we said multiple times on the podcast, you really learn on your losses, and losses should be the battles you study, not wins. Wins don't really teach you anything. Wins you show to your friends, losses you study.
That's fair. I mean, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, I want to say that that's incorrect, but I don't think that you're wrong, because it's like if you win a game, what are you going to do? You're going to study on how you chose moves, based on the current situation. I guess that could work. But what for a lot of people is a more direct comparison is just to see at what point you lost the game, because it's not right at the end. You always have lost the game like 1 or 2 turns or 3 turns or 4 turns or even like way back at the beginning.
Sometimes turn 1.
Sometimes you lose turn 1. Sometimes it's not very obvious, but sometimes you lose turn 1 pretty hard.
The only time I think wins are actually worthwhile to rewatch is if you won because of hacks, and to try to put yourself in a situation to where you didn't rely on that hacks too much.
Right.
Go back and figure that out.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah, if you won or lost to hacks, then you know that is indicative of luck. It's not indicative of your team building prowess, unless it's part of it. I don't know.
A lot of people are pointing out that this is a water Shifu on Wolf's team.
Yeah.
I think that was just a conscious decision to just have an Aqua Jet user on this team, and also have a Aqua Jet fighting type. I don't actually think that Water Urshifu is better than Single Strike, and that Wolf Glick sees something that we don't. I think it just fits on the team better.
Yeah,
that's just my personal opinion.
Well, because sometimes you need the priority to trigger your Colossal's weakness policy steam engine rather than a super fast Dragon Bolt with Surf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. And then I believe we also have the finals usage stats for Players Cup 2. Now, there's something that we have here on our notes that I'm noticing. Urshifu is actually misrepresented on this graphic. We have Urshifu Single Strike, which is seen 4 times at 27%. But actually, Urshifu Water Urshifu plus Dark Urshifu make up for 46%, more than the Landorus of the used Pokemon on this one. So to kind of correct the numbers on this thing, we've got Urshifu sitting at 46%. We've got Landorus T sitting at 40%. Grimmsnarl, Regieleki, and Rillaboom, as you can see on this, are represented at 33% of teams. And then Glastrier, Kartana, Tapu Fini, Torkoal, and Venusaur are all at 26% because of the movement of Urshifu, not 27%, which you see on screen. What you don't see on screen is Incineroar, Moltres, Galarian Moltres, Porygon 2, and Rotom Heat, all sitting at 20%. And then down to 13%, we've got Amoonguss, Celesteela, Colossal, Dragapult, Raichu, Spectrier, and Stakataka, all again 13%. The rest were one-offs. The rest of them were one-offs.
Yeah, every other Pokemon that were even mentioned were one-offs. Mm-hmm. Some very like crazy Pokemon that I really didn't expect to be one-offs were things like Cresselia was only on one team, Thundurus was only on one team, Zapdos only on one team, no Heatrans, no Metagross,
no like, Heatran,
no Metagross, no nothing. Where are these Pokemon that you see on the ladder so often?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a strange thing to see, like, hey, Pokemon that you thought were really good didn't make top cut. In fact, a lot of Pokemon that dealt with them made top cut.
Like, now, I mean, it's helpful to realize that this was made or Players Cup 2 was performed like long ago. So some Pokemon hadn't had the chance at that point to build themselves up and to become what we know as the meta right now. Like now Heatran is everywhere.
Yeah.
Back then, kinda. People were kinda using it, but you could also kind of use like Colossal instead.
Regieleki though. Who would have guessed
that one was weird.
Giving a Pokemon 200 base speed really does make it good.
You know? Seen 5 times.
Who would have guessed?
Who would have thought? And then in any news past the Players Cup, there's nothing really that's going on past then. Pokemon likes to kind of focus all their efforts on that. However, there is a pretty neat piece of news that you can receive a gold bottle cap today and tomorrow if you use the code PC2 Finals Stream. The I is a 1. So PC2 F1 NALS Stream. NALSSTREAM. There you go.
I can figure it out.
Yeah, you can figure it out. Get on into your mystery gift. Go and get yourself that.
Do you think now that they finished the PC2, it's time for some Pokemon news? Like, they're going to announce something?
I would love that.
They definitely announce it after Christmas, though, right? Because they want to try to make us buy other Nintendo Switch games. And they announce something big after Christmas. Like, that space between... They have to announce Series 8. We still have no idea what Series 8 is.
That's very true. No, I think I'm trying to think from a business perspective. What's better? Should you try and bring hype for your game, or should you let Christmas happen and let other people get new games for the Nintendo Switch? Does Pokemon want to release news beforehand so people are still playing their game through Christmas? I think maybe.
it's Pokemon's decision when they announce things, right? It's not Nintendo's decision. So I don't think Pokemon cares about Nintendo sales. I think they care about Pokemon sales.
So then it would be better to say something before Christmas so that people are still playing their game after it.
Yeah, and maybe people will feel enticed to go grab their new Pikachu plushie from the PokemonCenter.com.
Are you now sponsored by the PokemonCenter.com? Are you?
I did make a lot of purchases.
Do you have to use promo code X-Rays Ovation or something? Like, is there something you're not telling me?
Promo code PC2
Final Stream.
F1 Nals Stream.
That's it. Oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking to you guys about what happens when legendary Pokemon enter the Dynamax meta. It's a thing that we've been thinking about for months and months and months, ever since we've actually received the ability to catch them. And I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of other people are too, about what is just going to stack up in the meta, what's going to stack attack up in the meta, and where the game's going to go from there. Like, are legendaries going to actually take over? Who knows? Well, let's find out after the break. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay.
Welcome to the break.
Welcome to the break. Hello.
Welcome to the break.
Yeah, Lupus, it's funny. There's zero Metagross. Metagross. It's so strange.
256. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Metagross is kind of like me. We didn't make it far.
I feel so bad for you.
I'm like top 200 on the ladder right now. You don't have to feel that bad.
That is
fair. Ever since you said one of us needs to get top 30, I've been committed to try to get top 30 by the end of this month now. Whoa. I might actually do 2 streams this week, but you didn't hear that from me. I don't want to commit to it.
If
but
it happens,
yeah, I might do it Tuesday, Wednesday, but you didn't hear from me.
I might do it Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. I might do it Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern. Who knows?
But I'm gonna play the most boring meta team that you've ever seen because the goal is to actually ladder. Sorry, guys.
I think that's fair.
No ally switch spam. After last week.
But I think that's all right because people were genuinely mad.
Oh yeah.
People were genuinely upset that you were doing what you were doing.
They're like, Kevin, you're a part of the problem. I'm like, yeah. I'm helping fix the problem. So Pokemon won't do anything about it until they see it's a problem. They're like, oh, look at this poor Pokemon player winning these games.
Look at this dude.
Look at this guy.
Spatula Titan says, I built a Ho-Oh and Groudon team for the GS Cup. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool.
GS Cup? Oh, Antonio, is that the one that showed up? GS Cup is just in case you didn't know, it's because that's kind of like a VGC like word, or what's that acronym? It just means the restricted legend format where you're allowed 2 restricted legends. That's it. Don't know why it's called GS Cup, but it is. Gold silver? I don't know.
Gold silver. Yeah.
Good supers. Good Sprokemons.
Grandfather stayed.
In a cup.
Yes, exactly. Game Freak must have noticed. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you upped the usage stats of Ally Switch that day by quite, like, almost 0.01%. So you should feel like you contributed.
I'm gonna go on Pikalytics right now and see how many Cinderaces have Ally Switch, and I'll tell you what I did.
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 6.
Well, it's below 5%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, now let's see how many Nikki Legos. Right now,
honestly, I did not remember at all that Nihilego gets Ally Switch.
I'm sure most people didn't remember it.
Less than 51% because only 5 moves are actually shown on Pikalytics. So that's fun.
Jeez, I don't have Ally Switch on any of these Pokemon on Pikalytics. Rest in peace. I did nothing. Oh, I was checking high ladder. Hold on, we gotta check low ladder. That's gotta be. That's where I belong.
You live.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Zen Headbutt has a higher usage than Ally Switch on Cinderace. I'm really a terrible person.
You did that to prove a point at this point.
Yeah. Like. Oh, Ally Switch on Rotom Wash, 7%. Bam, all me.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Call me.
You
one
made
Pokemon.
the difference. You can go the difference. Distance is the actual song. All right, folks. I can go the difference. Folks, we're going to be getting back into the podcast in just a second. Weakness policy Dialga with support Entei. Oh, what?
Dialga is mythic.
What do you? No, it's not.
Oh, Dialga. For some reason, my brain went Deoxys.
That's fair. I almost agreed with you too, because I have that kind of personality where I'm like, yeah, you're right. Wait,
ban it.
Get it out of here. Get that box legendary out of here. All right, Kevin, I'm going to hope that I've done all this right.
I got a lot of speaking to do, don't I?
We've got I'll help out.
Yeah.
As much as I can. All right, here we go. And we're back. Welcome back to Pokésports, everybody. Like I said before the break, we're going to be talking about legendary Pokemon. It's a topic that I've just been racking my brain about over the past X months, just so many months. Just with regards to the fact that we have Dynamax now. We've got it. It's here. And so how are legendary Pokemon going to actually stack up? So Kevin, let us know what you've done for this exercise here.
So I've constructed an infallible tier list.
Oh,
it's infallible because I've constructed it. Cannot be argued with.
No.
Cannot be. Okay, in all honesty, if you guys have differing opinions, then.
Oh no, I really hope that they do. Yeah.
I hope they do too, because I'm sure I'm not right about half of these, but I believe that I'm right about most of them.
Okay.
The reason why I've constructed this tier list is because most people are speculating, myself and Mike included, that Series 8, if not Series 8, VGC 20,000 or whatever it's going to be, is going to include the legendaries. Yeah, it's going to include the legendaries at some point. They always do this. I don't actually know. Are you familiar with like Ubers or VGC series with legendaries at all, or did you only play the series without them?
I'm familiar with Ubers.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So you know that Zacian's pretty good, right? We're gonna start with S tier, by the way. S tier, number one.
Hold on. For this, to help the visuals, I have created a tier list that we will be working on together. I may or may not have added not all of the Pokemon, so we'll at least go through the ones that we're going to talk about. So if you don't see the one that you're thinking of on the list, don't worry about it. It just means we don't care. Yeah. So you mentioned Zacian, this guy right here.
Yes.
Okay. Where's he going?
Tier.
S tier.
S tier. Right, immediately.
This is a very easy tier list, by the way. We've only got SABC. So
because there's no such thing as F tier legendary.
No, they're legendaries. Otherwise, they wouldn't be they wouldn't be legendaries.
Yeah. So Zacian can't Dynamax, but it can ruin Dynamaxes, which is a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. The fact that it has Behemoth Blade which doubles in damage, which essentially nullifies Dynamaxes if you think about it, because Dynamaxes double in their health. So Behemoth Blade just gets rid of the health bonus they get, which is nice. It's a physical stab steel move with a base 170 attack Pokemon that gets a +1 upon switch-ins.
Oh my goodness. And I mean, if you look at its base stats as well, that thing's got base 170 attack. You're kidding me. Base 148 speed. What up, Dragapult?
It's faster than Dragapult, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Its typing is also incredibly disgusting with like immunities to poison and dragon, only 2 weaknesses, and resistances everywhere.
Like everything. Wow. It's got like quad resistances to bug, but also just like normal resistances to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different types.
So you guys missed the Mega Mawile. Here she is. But here's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about with Zacian. Mm-hmm. It's still very defensive. It's base 115 on both defenses with 92 HP. That's still very tanky.
Yeah.
With all those resistances, it's gonna be really hard to knock this out with like one hit. Like you almost need a fire or ground type to knock this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
it's a problem.
That's
And
a bit of a problem.
I'm really worried about Zacian for like if you thought Xerneas was bad, what is a Xerneas anymore, right?
Well, I have a feeling that Zacian being as totally broken as it is, that might be one of the reasons that we haven't had legendaries in our meta for so long, and why they're like kind of hesitant to really get into it. Like all of their competitions so far that have included legendaries are like, yeah, you can bring one. That's it.
That is true. Yeah. They haven't even been like usually it's been two.
Yeah. What
If I
if?
can run.
Ooh, because maybe that's a thing too. Is you can bring legendaries, but maybe you can only limit it to one, just in Series 8.
Okay. Just try to ease your way in there before we
Yeah.
completely open the floodgates. Okay. You got to drown slowly. I get it.
Yeah, you got to drown slowly. Then VGC 2022, then we'll just open it up to everybody, and no one will be happy.
That's usually how that works. Yeah.
Correct.
And then only the worst kind of people win the tournaments.
Exactly. All right, who do we have next?
Since we brought it up, Xerneas, I guess we could bring up now.
Let's do it.
This is a weird one. I'm gonna say S tier just because at its core, it's a great Pokemon. I'm pretty sure Geomancy is still gonna be great with Power Herb. The reason why I'm hesitant is because of Steel types and because of Zacian, because of how many different ways Pokemon introduced to very clearly try to slow down this Pokemon.
Okay.
Like I wholeheartedly believe that Xerneas was attempted, like they attempted to slow it down with Zacian.
Right.
This is my personal opinion.
So among the legendaries there, we'd still consider it S tier, but we wouldn't consider it better than Zacian.
Yes, I would definitely consider it S or A, or
okay.
like an ABL. You know what I mean? Like
in between what? I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to move Xerneas to the very left of the A tier, so top of the A tier, just basically a ban list.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
I'm in accordance.
Great. Who do we have next?
You could pick a Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
That way we don't only do the S's.
That's fair. How about we go Yveltal?
Oh, S.
Oh, okay.
You want to know my reasoning behind this?
Very much.
Okay, you know Galarian or like Moltres, right?
Heard of it.
Just think of that, but better. You just get a Dynamax weakness policy Yveltal on the field. It's a little bit terrifying. Even then, you can just not even Dynamax it, break your weakness policy, and then get the Oblivion Wing off, and then heal all of your health back.
Right.
For no reason.
680 base stat total. Got it.
In case you weren't aware, or in case people listening weren't aware, Oblivion Wing deals damage and then recovers the user for 75% of the HP that you dealt. So that plus weakness policy is disgusting. You can even run like a Sucker Punch set, so you get a little bit of priority. It gets ghost moves. It gets a lot of flying moves. You can go physical or special. You just have a lot of options with Pokemon. It's also just faster than Galarian Moltres, which is nice as well. I think, yeah, spooky. And also gets Dark Aura, so it's essentially a free life orb for dark moves.
Better Galarian Moltres. So what we're saying is that it's S tier for sure, but not more S tier than Zacian.
Okay. I think Zacian we can agree on is going to be the S.
That's fair. That's fair. I want to get into some things that could potentially take on Zacian. So what do we think about Pokemon like Ho-Oh?
Ooh, I think being a fire type has means a lot more this time around.
Yes.
Because you're going to need something for steel types. Like every team is going to require it. Incineroar is not enough.
Fair.
So I think for that simple fact, I would say Ho-Oh is a solid, it's not C tier, it's a solid B tier.
Solid
because we also have to remember like Ho-Oh goes down to like a rock slide.
Yeah. And I mean, if we think about the non-legendary meta too, like we've got Regieleki now just kind of running shop. Colossal. Watch out for Colossal. We can basically just take every flying type Pokemon and move them right into C or B because of like Colossal, because of Regieleki. Yeah. Oof. This is going to be pretty hard for Pokemon like Lugia. I know we've got some Lugia fans in the chat right now. But ugh. Hildo stuff, Spatula Titan, saying that Ho-Oh deserves to be a little higher.
I gotta see it to believe it. I think that Reshiram outperforms Ho-Oh in my opinion.
Interesting.
Which is
Where would
why
you
I
put
want
Reshiram?
Reshiram's like a solid A tier. I think like I said, the meta is really reliant on a good fire type because right now good fire types are very limited, like especially offensive wise. Ho-Oh is defensive, but we're not looking for defensive. Defensive can't take care of Zacian in my opinion.
Right. I mean, it is important to also take a look at Ho-Oh as well. I mean, it's got that same super impressive stat total that we just credited Yveltal with. Very, very specially defensive. Has a lot of good resistances. Pretty speedy. So, you know, that kind of Pokemon in Tailwind might be worth taking a look at for sure. Now, it is also important to note, folks, that this list is not like the best legendaries. This isn't a tier list of the best legendaries. This is Pokemon that are going to stack up well in VGC 2020. Now, that might mean that some of the favorites might be getting tanked, but, you know, you just kind of got to chalk it up to typing and stat advantage not being where they should be. So with that said, let's move on. We've got Ho in there. We've got Reshiram in there. Solid B. What do we think about, you know, you've already talked about Zacian. What about Zamazenta?
Oh, Zamazenta's C tier. I don't see Zamazenta doing anything. Zamazenta. Nah. Sorry, Zamazenta.
No, I like would agree with that.
I prefer it to the design wise. I prefer it a lot, but I think it doesn't stack up. No. Like, why we don't need a fighting type when we have an Urshifu, and Zamazenta's gonna take a whole restricted spot.
That's so unfortunate too, because it's got such nice stat totals. Like I love the stat totals on Zamazenta. You've got a base 720 with 80 special attacks. So you've got a low special attack that you can basically wipe right off of the stat total. You guys know how I like to do this. 640 is your new stat, like your relevant stat total.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah. It's definitely like it's a good Pokemon on paper. I just don't think it'll stack up. Like, what reason do you have to run this over Zacian?
Right.
Yeah, it's just I mean, I guess you can run both, but then you're like double steel type, so
double doggos. Okay.
There might be a place in a certain archetype where Zamazenta fits. It's just not something that I can think of right now. Because guys, remember, I didn't test this. It's just me going.
No,
like,
yeah,
this meta needs testing. This is just thoughts.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's keep going then. We've got. I'm gonna hold off on this one.
Let's do weather.
People are hoping. But yeah, let's do weather. So we've got. Let's go Kyogre first.
I think honestly, just Kyogre Groudon both A tier. Because weather is good, and any reason for me not to use a Torkoal or not to use a Politoed, I'm gonna take it. Kyogre's dumb, Groudon's dumb. Weather's gonna be good, especially since you're gonna be allowed to run a Groudon and a Megazord. Not Megazord, a Gigantamax Charizard on the same team.
Right.
You're gonna be allowed to run Groudon and a Venusaur on the same team.
Yeah, that's gonna come right back, huh?
Kyogre and Tornadus was an incredible combination. Just like having Tailwind with your Water Spout spam user. Disgusting, especially in dynamic speed, by the way.
Right.
We're in dynamic speed now, which is another thing that I guess we can kind of include in the Dynamax meta is now we're in dynamic speed. It's the first time that these legendaries are even seeing dynamic speed. So
now one thing that people have been well, again, I have not grown up in the VGC sphere, but one thing that I do know is that Groudon is incredibly nasty in it. So that said, does that have any merit here? Like, is Groudon going to be a nasty Pokemon here, or what do we think?
I think their primals are gone, so they're a lot weaker. If they had primals, instant SS tier, like those were really strong, unnecessarily strong. But since they're a little bit nerfed now, it's only drought. You can change it whenever you want. It is a lot, more balanced. I think Groudon has a place.
Right.
It's definitely, in my opinion, better than Torkoal. Just because of how, I wonder, does it still get Precipice Blades if it doesn't get Primal?
Oh man, I cannot remember.
I don't know, but
yes, it
if
does.
not,
Yes,
it gets
does.
Earthquake.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Precipice
Okay.
Blades, yeah.
All right. So yeah, Precipice Blades is a great move.
On base 150.
Yeah, base 150 spread move, pretty good.
Not bad.
So I think it has a place for sure.
Okay. All right. So where in the tier does this go?
I think Kyogre above Groudon.
Kyogre above Groudon. All right. What about compared to Xerneas and Reshiram?
Probably Kyogre above Resh, and then Groudon still at the end.
Okay.
Groudon's biggest problem is being physical, and then Intimidators being a factor.
That's fair. Okay. So then let's continue with this. We've already done Reshiram. How about we do Zekrom?
Zekrom I'm not actually impressed with. Sorry, Zekrom fans. Yeah, I mean, I think Zekrom is a solid B. Solid probably
B.
at the end of B. It's a great typing, don't get me wrong, but you have things like a Lecky. Like,
it's completely outclassing.
Yeah, it's like you have so many. Yeah, you have a Lecky, which is an electric type that's a lot faster, more supportive. I mean, physical electric types are very rare, and I think Zekrom has that uniqueness to it. But I wouldn't sacrifice a restricted spot for a Pokemon that goes down to Groudon EQ, right?
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Kind of iffy. Also goes down to Xerneas.
You brought up a really
Zacian.
good point too. You brought up a really, really good point with dynamic speed. How legendaries, just by merit of being legendaries, have always had super high stat totals. So now with dynamic speed being a thing, Pokemon are able to go from like 90 or 120 to double that in the same turn, making their stat total like way above some of the other Pokemon, like the lesser non-legendary Pokemon. So it may, oh man, that is, it may make legendaries like the Pokemon to use, and that's kind of why I'm thinking that the smart move on Game Freak side would be to limit the amount of legendaries that you can bring on a team, because it's going to be so all about what legendary you bring in. If that's the case, more so even than what Pokemon you Dynamax. In some cases, it's going to be both. The Pokemon that you make a legendary and then the Pokemon that you Dynamax. They might be the same Pokemon in some cases.
Yeah, like honestly, this is gonna be unprecedented. I feel like restricteds are gonna be on a lot higher of a pedestal than they were before.
Yeah.
Which is why they can't bring things like Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre and Mega Rayquaza back. Because like, imagine those Pokemon right now.
Please don't.
Like, it's just be silly.
Please don't ruin this game. I love it. I love it so much.
The thing is, I think the way it's shaping out to be, it's all still playable, right? It doesn't seem like the only Pokemon that's over the top right now, in my opinion, is Zacian. But people find a way around it. They always do.
Find a way. Yeah. All right, let's continue with the list. We haven't gone into DPP yet, so let's go for Palkia.
Palkia is interesting. I think Palkia as a typing is very unique. I think it's a B tier because it's still a water dragon, and I feel like those two typings are already taken up by better Pokemon. Like if you want a dragon type, you do Reshiram. If you want a water type, you do Kyogre. But the honorable mention here is that this is like the first time that Palkia is getting a reliable water move because Max Geyser exists. And there's so many fun shenanigans you can do with like a Comfy and like proccing weakness policy. You know I love proccing weakness policies. And then going for geysers, which I think is very strong, especially because Palkia is a very strong Pokemon. It also gets like spacious rend or spatial rend or something rend, the dragon move. That does a lot of damage.
Vicious rend.
That does a lot of damage too. I think it has a place, but not top.
but not at the top. Okay.
Same thing kind of goes for Dialga. I even stick Dialga in the same tier.
Really?
Dialga just kind of reminds me of a worse Duskmane Necrozma because it can serve as that weakness policy bulldoze procer thing, but you do lose the speed. Duskmane Necrozma has like the super clear body, so you can't actually. It essentially.
Sorry. That said, where are you putting Duskmane Necrozma?
Duskmane Necrozma is S tier for sure.
Oh, okay. Right
S tier. Think Metagross, but like better in every way. You saw how much like of I guess an impact that Metagross made the second it was introduced to the metagame.
Yeah.
Just imagine a Metagross with 157 attack and like the same defenses. It's a little bit terrifying.
I so badly want to pull up Duskmane Necrozma's stats, but they're a little bit more difficult to find, so
I made a little bit of a mistake. It gets Prism armor, not the super clear body. The Soul Galio gets the super clear body, which should still be S tier, I think. Yeah, Soul Galio I still put in S tier. They both do their own thing. I think the Necrozma. Wait, what? No, Soul Galio and Duskmane should be in S tier.
Soul Galio is Duskmane, Dawnwings is the other one.
I know there's two different Pokemon though.
Correct.
I'm confused.
What are you talking about?
Soul Galio and
Soul Galio and Duskmane. Oh, okay.
Yeah, both in S tier. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Because Duskmane Necrozma, what it does is set Trick Room, and it's a very reliable Trick Room setter. It can function in both, inside and outside of Trick Room because of its 77 speed tier. And then Soul Galio is the weakness policy proccing with Bulldoze.
Yes. Okay. So I guess what I meaning to ask here. What about Lunala and Dawnwings Necrozma?
Dawnwings is kind of in an unfortunate place because it's 4 times weak to Dark and 4 times weak to Ghost.
Oh, fair.
It does have, multi-scale pretty much, so it could take one hit, but I don't know. There's a lot of Dark and Ghost types right now. I'm a little bit hesitant. I would put them solid Bs. Maybe Dawnwings Necrozma an A, but Lunala a B.
Mm-hmm.
The Calyrex though. I want to talk about the horses.
Oh, okay. Let's do that.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say that the Ghost Rider is really good, and I think you from a singles background knows it's very good because that it's taking over singles. I think has it been banned already? Probably. The problem with Ghost Rider is that its stat distributions is like too good.
Right.
It has 100 HP, 165 special attack, and base 150 speed, making it outspeed Dragapult even. Outspeeds Zacian, which I think could be very big, especially because it gets Will-O-Wisp too. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
Anything that outspeeds Zacian and gets Will-O-Wisp is really nice. The biggest drawback would be also I'm making this S tier by the way. The biggest drawback would be probably the typing isn't impressive, but you don't really rely on defenses too much. You're kind of the squishier version of the Horsies.
Right.
But yeah.
So for Shadow Rider Calyrex, I'm just pulling up the stats right here. Whoop. Yeah, that's yeah. If you look at the base stats for Shadow Rider, that's 150 for speed, that's 165 for special attack. Like everything that Spectrier was good at is just so much better now. Holy. And then for Ice Rider, even better of a Trick Room user, right? Because you've got that 50 speed. Like it's a little bit slower than or a little bit faster than the Glastrier, but that defense and special defense, like this thing isn't taking damage.
No, not at all. I mean, the only thing
yuck
is that the typing is complete garbage for Ice Rider.
Right.
It has like 7 weaknesses or 6 weaknesses. It's like, okay.
Gross. So
yeah.
We are putting.
I would A tier that one.
A tier.
The Ice Rider, yeah.
I think I'd be comfortable putting that at the end of A tier.
I mean, it's situational because you have to set Trick Room to make it good, and even if you're in Trick Room, you have a lot of things that can KO you.
Yeah,
Especially like steel types, which is a big one.
that's fair. So we've only got 4 left. Let's go Gen 1. Where would you put the original legendary boy Mewtwo?
Honestly, this might be a hot take, and I understand that people are going to disagree with me here.
Wow.
I'm gonna put Mewtwo in A tier, but at the end of A tier.
If
The only reason
yeah,
is for expanding force.
yeah,
If the only reason is for expanding force, that is the biggest reason, because Mewtwo does a lot of damage with expanding force.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, base 154, base 130 speed. Mewtwo's a good Pokemon. I shouldn't even have to explain this one. Unnerve as an ability can be pretty good, especially against, like, berry spammers, people that only have heal berries. That can come in handy. But like I said, I don't think it'll trump things like Dusk Wings or Dawn Wings. It won't trump things like Groudon or Kyogre. It's at the end of A. I respect it enough.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I think that's fine. So 3 more now. Lugia, Rayquaza, and Giratina. What about Giratina?
I'm personally not impressed with Giratina.
Oh.
What does it even? I don't think it does anything. It's just tanky. It's just tanky. It sets Trick Room and it's tanky. I mean, congratulations, you accomplished the same thing as a Dusclops. I don't need to put you on my restricted spot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna say that's a C tier. I'm not impressed with Giratina. I love it as a Pokemon. I understand Sinnoh remakes is a potential thing, and you guys love your Giratina, but I'm sorry.
So here's a question: if Dusclops is so widely used, and a tankier Dusclops is coming out, why would that not be immediately used way more than Dusclops?
Because it takes the restricted spot.
That's right. Yeah, if it's restricted,
you're only allowed a restricted spot, and if your restricted accomplishes the same thing as an unevolved Pokemon, then I'm leaning towards the unevolved Pokemon.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's go for Rayquaza, just so I control everybody in the chat right now.
C tier.
What's that? You cut out.
C tier.
C tier.
Yeah.
Is Giratina like the very end, by the way? Or is
no, I would put Rayquaza below it. Rayquaza doesn't really do anything.
Okay.
Dragon Flying is not a great typing right about now, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah, anything with flying type.
And the problem with Rayquaza is that it'll die to an Ice Shard from a Mamoswine. So, what is the point?
Oh, whoops. All right.
If Mega existed, then maybe, but it doesn't. So
yeah,
it goes back to being unimpressive.
That's fair. Okay. So I may have to do a lot of damage control with a lot of people in the chat for this one. Where are we putting the Lugia, Kevin?
I won't put it in C.
Okay.
I'll put it in B. It's going in B. It's going, I want to say, at the end of B, but it's going in B.
Okay.
The only reason it's going B is because it's a very reliable Trick Room setter with multi-scale.
Correct.
You'll almost always get it up because you just have to give yourself a mental herb and then Trick Room, and then you're fine.
Right.
So I respect it.
The downside to that, and I think I can help with this one a little bit, is if we look at the top 5 Pokemon on Picolytics right at this very moment, Urshifu Single Strike does not want to give a wicked blow to a or Lugia does not want to take a wicked blow from an Urshifu. Regieleki does not. Lugia does not want to take a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch or anything from a Regieleki. Yuck. Incineroar, even like when Incineroar isn't really threatened by this Pokemon, like, I don't know. Glastrier, heard of him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I mean, you're kind of right. I was putting multi-scale on a pedestal, but all you really got to do is fake it out and then hit it with the super effective move, and then it still goes down. So
yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, I guess you can do the whole. What's that? What's the Lugia move? Aeroblast? Yes. I wonder if that animation is going to be the exact same as Max Airstream, because now that I think about it, they are the same thing.
Probably.
Huh.
Honorable mention though.
Okay.
We didn't talk about what's that Pokemon's name? Zygarde complete form?
Oh yeah.
Or Zygarde in general? I think we can agree that regular Zygarde and Zygarde 10% are both not that great. They should both go to C tier. But I think complete form has a niche, right? I'm gonna give that a B.
Was that allowed?
Yeah, that's allowed.
In VGC?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
It's technically in the game. The complete form has base 216 HP. Imagine Dynamaxing that. That'll be fun. That's like the only reason I kind of want to see this thing do its thing. The problem is that its attack isn't that great, and its like defenses and speed aren't that great. So I don't really want to put it in like a super high tier. It's just very tanky. But that's pretty much it.
Interesting.
I think it's like the 1,000 waves.
Say that again.
The 1,000 arrows, 1,000 waves thing. The move. That does the thing.
But no, you're right. It does have like a very, very high stat total. Taking away special attack, that puts it at what, like 617 or something. 617. That's not bad.
It won't change the game.
Double your speed in Tailwind. That's pretty nasty. It's
also like one of my favorite Pokemon designs. It reminds me of a Power Ranger, and I used to love Power Rangers.
It's like a mix between a Gundam and a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It is.
I want to make it work.
I'm sure we'll be trying once that actually comes out.
Every single Pokemon here, from your Zacian Steroid Quasas, will be probably trying.
Oh, for sure.
So if you guys don't already follow us on YouTube, follow us on YouTube.
Let me pull back the curtain a little bit. When new things come out like that, we are always trying those out like first. So if you're ever like starting a new game or a new series and you want to know how certain Pokemon stack up, we likely have already or will make a video on those as we do put out stuff every single day.
You could probably type that Pokemon's name and then write the word Pokésports after it. You'll find it.
Yeah, quite likely. And of course, that is youtube.com/Pokesports. You can also find us on Twitter at PokesportsPod or Instagram at PokesportsPodcast. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or find us on Patreon at PokesportsPodcast. There's going to be a New Year's League, by the way, for anybody who is curious about next month's league, if that is going to happen. Absolutely every single month that it does. Going to be making a few changes to the website coming up, but one thing that we can mention right now is that we have a weakness calculator on the site right now, so you can go there, check out. I think it's called Team Builder right now, which we'll probably rename, but you can go there to go and see if your team matches up pretty well against other types. That's Pokesports.org.
Yeah, and we also have a damage calc there that is actually completely updated for all the restricted Pokemon that we talked about. I know a couple of damage calcs aren't updated for that, so if you feel like calcing early, the option is there.
Get it going. Exactly. Do want to thank a lot of the patrons out there. Of course, we've got Ahmed, Dante, Elijah, Zach, Level 1, Pidgey, Colton, Sheldon, Trevor, Alex, Brian, Carlo, Jolty, Jolly, Lights Out, together become Jolty, Jolts Out. I like that. Ro Ixon, Scott, Josh, Alex, Dustin, Jesse, Joseph, King Boo, Martine, Rowan, T Mad I M, Travis, Jack S, Jack B, Jack C, Jonathan, Chris, Federico, Greg, Jason, LA Caveman, Pierre, Pink Hat Boy, Ryan, Soen, Tristan, and of course Tofu. You guys are making this all very, very worth it. Thank you very much. Big thanks to M Dash for every single second of every single piece of music that you hear on this podcast. Go and check out M Dash. He's a great person. Kevin, you got any where can people find you? I never do this. Where do people find you?
X Reservation, Instagram, Twitter.
And then you can find me anywhere you find your people. That's still just Mike, preferably Instagram or Twitter. Folks, we hope to see you next week. Next week is going to be an interesting one. It is going to be the last Pokésports podcast before Christmas. And so we are going to bring you a very special Christmas-themed episode of Pokésports. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Later, guys. Sorry for everyone I upset.
They don't want to take a wicked blow. They just don't. They don't. I'm sorry. They just don't. The end. All right. Cool. Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening. We love you very much. It's going to be a fun time next week. It was a fun time this week. This was a fun one too, actually. I really enjoyed this one.
I like theory crafting. It reminds me of like episode 1 of Pokésports where we were trying to like predict everyone's stats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked it.
All right, folks. Well, everybody have another Delibird episode. Oh yeah, back then when our Christmas special was talking about Delibird.
Did we actually do that for a whole episode?
We did. No, not a whole episode. It was the spotlight.
Oh, those poor people